Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode number 2 of Fat Cats Exposed. I'll tell you, it's becoming one of my favorite topics because I love exposing these assholes for the hypocrisy and all the bullshit that they cause and the smoke screens that they put out there, that they're trying to help injured workers, that they're improving the system, and that there's more injured workers getting back to work faster, and there's less injuries, and all of this kind of nonsense, which, of course, as you and I know, is total horseshit. But this is the kind of shit that they want to shove down your throat. And I'm going to make sure that we keep the focus on the actual numbers and what's actually going on, and not this fantasy world that they live in. So last week on the first episode of Fat Cats Exposed, I talked about, or I introduced Gavin Pokin, WSIB Chief Operating Officer with the WSIB for 25 years, rose to one of the top spots from claims adjudicator, so pretty much at the bottom. And of course, along with that, you're looking at a very, very high 6-figure income. So today I'm going to give you a little bit of history to put into context some of the things that I'm talking about. So in 2010, if some of you remember, or for those of you who didn't have a claim yet and you hadn't been sucked into the fantasy world of the WSIB, I'm going to give you some facts. So they hired this guy by the name of David Marshall to be their president and CEO and pretty much their savior. And this guy was supposed to come in and reduce the unfunded liability from over $14 billion to zero. That's a big, big, big number. You got to keep in mind, it took many, many years to get that unfunded liability to that point. And of course, countless of wasteful spending on the WSIB's part, because they love to spend fucking money because it's not coming from their pockets, it's not coming from the government, it's coming from the employers. And they love to screw the employers too, trust me. Employers don't get they don't get any bonuses out of this. Well, except for the last surplus bonuses that were paid out, but that's for another day. Anyway, they hired this guy to come in and reduce that unfunded liability. So the government, they put together a plan, and their goal was to have that unfunded liability wiped out by the year 2030, 2030. So we're still a ways off from there. And so they agreed to pay this fat cat, the biggest of the fat cats, David Marshall. He's no longer with the WSIB, but he's around somewhere. They agreed to pay him $400,000 a year and plus bonuses to reduce that number, to eliminate it. So, hey, if you're earning $400,000 a year, the fuck do you care if other people are getting their claims denied and can't pay their bills, put food on the table, and pay for the kids' education and all those things that we as parents want to do for our kids? He didn't give a fuck. He was going to get paid $400,000 plus bonuses to screw you. Okay, keep that in mind. To screw you. So he comes in 2010 and he decides to start implementing these programs, and I'm not going to get into detail because that's going to just you're gonna start puking, and I want you to go into the weekend and with nice feelings. But yeah, So he starts slashing everything and cutting bonuses or denying claims, because most of it came off of the backs of injured workers. The claims that weren't denied, were denied the claims that weren't paid, and yada, yada, yada. So by 2013, so we're talking about 3 years later, to give you a comparison, in 2009, the WSIB had paid out $3.2 billion in benefits. By 2013, they slashed that number by 22%. That's a high number. Down to $2.5 billion. So guess where that money went? Well, a lot of it was money that didn't get paid out to injured workers, the claimants, the ones who actually need the fucking money. So anyway, now let me introduce Vice President Kathy Wright, Vice President of Case Management. So they got 22 vice presidents. Kathy Wright is the one who is the vice president for case management. That's everything to do with claims and how claims are handled and all of the strategies and scheming and all the bullshit. She's in charge. And in 2013, Kathy was a director of service delivery, earning $109,000 a year, which in my opinion is way too much. But anyway, that's the salary that she was able to negotiate for herself. So, as David Marshall comes in 2010 and starts to slash benefits and deny claims at record rates, look what's happening to Kathy Wright's income. So in 2013, she was earning $109,000. 2014, it went up to $115,000. I'm going to put the numbers here on the screen. In 2015, it went up to $122,000. The year after, $129,000. The year after that, $151,000. That was an increase from the previous year of $21,922. That's one year increase in salary. So, as you can see by the chart here, those increases happened every single year from 2013 to present. I don't have the figures for 2023 and 2024, but I'm sure it's more than the 100,000 in increases to her salary that she was able to get over the course of 10 years, the same 10-year period that David Marshall was reducing the unfunded liability by cutting off benefits and denying claims, bona fide legitimate claims, so that they could save money, eliminate that budget, so that David Marshall could earn his salary and pay bonuses, and everybody else like Kathy Wright continue to get their salaries increased every fucking year, while injured workers are having trouble putting food on the table, dressing their kids in warm clothes to go to school. This is what these fuckers were doing. Okay? And it hasn't stopped here. So, is it sickening? Or you're telling me? I took an extra sip for that one. Oh my goodness. Talking about taking a sip, it's Friday. So happy Friday to you. I know we all look forward to Fridays because the weekend's right around the corner. You know me, I love Fridays, and I love to have my Friday afternoon lemonade with lots of ice.
La cucaracha, ya no puede caminar porque no tiene.
So would you say that was a pretty good deal for Kathy Wright? At the end of 10 years, she started, and actually it wasn't 10 years, at the end of 8 years, because I don't have the 2023 and 24 figures, but they're going to come in and I'm going to share them with you. But in 8 years, Kathy Wright went from 109,000 a year to 207,000. That's almost 100,000. Like, that is double the salary in 10 years while you're having trouble putting food on the table. Yeah, I mean, listen. These are the fucking fat cats. They need to be exposed. These fuckers don't give a shit what's happening to you as long as they can feed their bottomless pockets and keep stuffing it in there. In the meantime, who cares? You get screwed. But that's life, right? Well, it's important to know these things because we're moving towards accountability. We are definitely moving in that direction. And trust me, the shit's going to hit the fan. It will. But in the meantime, I need to continue to let you know what these fat cats are up to because they are continuing to do their dirty scheme. They are. And to finish off, and of course to wish you all a nice weekend, and hopefully the weather will continue to be as nice as it is today. Guess who Kathy Wright works for? Yeah, you got it. She works for Gavin Pokin. The same guy who had that massive, speedy rise to the top. Guess who he's brought along with him? Because you know what? It's nicer to scheme when you got a group and you can pat each other in the back and tell you just how fucking well you're doing. And of course, is there any morals in that? I don't know. I think some people are morally bankrupt. But you decide, right? These are just my opinions. You decide if there's any morality in that. I don't fucking think so. That wraps this one up, my friends, on the second episode of Fat Cats Exposed. And I'll tell you, I'm not sure yet, but I am excited to see what I'm going to talk about next Wednesday to expose the fat cat. I'm sure there's going to be something, and I will probably be as surprised as you are when I tell you about it. All right, friends, as always, please subscribe to my channel. It's free. And share my videos. Who doesn't want a good laugh? Especially at the expense of these motherfuckers where their raison d'etre, as they say in French. I'm not sure if I pronounced that properly. I think I did. But their purpose is to fuck you over. All right, buddies. Take care. Have a good one.